my God, will Pulse fill up? Yes. If it accrues so much value and gets so many users, yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like, you can't, here's the thing, you cannot force a free market to keep things cheap because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value in the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
Hey, buddy, woohoo! Welcome back to another awesome day on Pulsechain, the giving tree. That's the title of the video, and we're going to look at different ways that Pulsechain is the giving tree. So look forward to that. One of them, of course, is the fact that the prices are so low at the moment that you can pick up tons and tons of Pulsex, Pulse, and X, and incentive token. So it really is a pretty amazing. And of course, we've also got yield farming on there as well, and of course many dexes and farming protocols that you can farm on as well, make a nice pretty tasty income also. So we're going to look at all that too. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, we're going to do a roundup of the Pulsex farms today. We haven't done that for a little while, so that's going to be pretty cool. And setting that up now, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, we had some good news out. Well, we had some news. I wouldn't say it's good, but we had some news out from around employment again in the US. So we're going to look at that. That's coming up as well. Now, I've got a poll in the chat there, so if you want to hit that up, what are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? Just to get a bit of a sentiment amongst all the viewers there. Are you buying? Are you hodling? You're not sure, but you might buy. And of course, not buying. So get in there, folks, at the moment. Now, typically in markets, you want to buy low, and we're definitely low, and you sell high. That's kind of the play. So remember that when you're looking at the price charts. We've got lows beneath in the house. How are you today? Very good. It's pretty nice. It might be winter, but we've got a nice high still hanging around. And so the weather outside is actually fairly nice. So going to enjoy that. Going to do a walk today as well. Hex, Heat, Pulsex incentive for the 100%. That is the max golden strategy of this channel. And of course, lights beneath brings that to us every day. Much appreciated. So very cool. All right, without further ado, let's get into the markets. We're going to cover the stock market all the way through to Pulsechain, of course, and Hex. So stay tuned for all that. Let's get into it. So we've got the stock market there, S&P 500 in a weekly win, despite closing lower on rate jitters. I'm talking about interest rates there. So let's have a look at the markets. Dow Jones is the top 30 industrials in the United States. That is down to 0.1%, 87 points to 38,798. The S&P is 500 is down 0.1%, 6 points to 5,346. And the NASDAQ there is down 0.25%, 43 points to 17,129. So that's pretty much it. US dollar is up quite strong, actually, 0.8%, up to 104.9 on the index versus its trading partners. Let's have a look at commodities. We got oil is down. So West Texas is down 0.25% at 17 cents to $75.38. And Brent oil there down 0.5%, 43 cents to $79.44. Gold is down 3.33%, down $80 to 2,311. And silver is down 6.7%, $2.09. That's a big move down for silver, and back below $30 as well, $29.27. And of course, we're going to be looking for interest rate pivot, right? That's going to be a big bull market for silver and gold. So that's probably something coming up, maybe September, November. We'll keep a lookout for that. In the meantime, we did get a lot of employment data out this week, particularly non-farm payrolls. That was the big one for Friday. So we are covering Friday's results for the US stock market. Treasury yields rise on as strong non-farm payrolls dent rate cut bets. Now, we'd been getting a lot of employment data that was pretty good, particularly unemployment and things like that, claims that was bullish for rate cuts. But it looks like we've had unfortunately, a bullish employment. It depends which way you're looking at it, right? Treasury yields jumped sharply after data showed the US economy added more jobs than expected last month, with non-farm payrolls running 272,000. So this is a pretty big month in May, surging from April's revised lower 165,000 release. Economists had called for a reading of 182,000. So that is a massive massive result there. Average hourly earnings grew by 0.4% month on month, rising to 0.2% in April and above predictions of 0.3%, stoking fresh concerns about inflation, while unemployment rose to 4%, above the expected for a 3.9%. Signs of strength in the labour market forced traders to peg back bets on a September rate, which now stands at 45% from 55% a day earlier. We covered that yesterday. And of course, the FOMC is widely expected to leave policy unchanged next Wednesday. So that's our next Fed meeting. That's from Scotiabank, adding that it expected the Fed to lower its forecast on rate cuts for this to 2 cuts from 3. A September cut means our base case for the first move this year. And of course, so that's still holding on to September, so it's not too bad. We're impressed by the strong performance, which reaffirms our belief in the long-term setup for durable growth and margin expansion. And of course, that is pretty much it. At current valuations, we cannot justify putting new money to work at current prices. So there we are, a bit of risk-off attitude. So that is pretty much it. Let's go have a look at the tools and see where that Fed expectation is now for September. But of course, the June meeting is coming up in 4 days and 17 hours next Wednesday. Keep that on your calendar. We're expecting a no change, as you can see. 97.8% expect the market not to change the rates. So let's jump all the way to September. September is 49.5% expecting a no change. So not quite the majority, but very close to it. So September is teetering between whether we'll get a rate cut there. But November is still the play. We've still got, 65%, so almost 2/3 there of the market expecting a pivot, at least by November, which is the 7th of November, 2 days after the US election on the 5th of November. So we shall see. Now, obviously, pretty bullish calls if Trump wins the US election. We saw that out of New York, that the jury case leaked the decision on Facebook apparently the day before. So that court case may get thrown out or redone. A redone would be really political, right? Keep Trump off the trails. So we shall see where that hits. But a Trump win would be bullish for the markets and gold and things like that. So that is where we are at the moment. Good and bullish for crypto. And we saw Trump come out as the crypto president today. So there we go, full on support there from Donald Trump. Meanwhile, of course, the Biden administration tried to pretend that they were pro crypto, but then of course came out to ban earlier this week, corporates from investing in Bitcoin and things like that. So you don't want to play around with the Biden and Democrats, pretty much all lies, and you know how that goes, right? Trying to remove our freedoms. It is the big election this year for freedom, including in the UK, which is coming on the 4th of July. And of course, looks like Reform is going to be absolutely trouncing it, as Sunak there botched up on D-Day parade, bolstering the Reform vote. Could see Reform surprise everybody and move into second place in terms of the main opposition party. And of course, that's a step towards freedom and a step towards, I would say, libertarianism, conservatism, and on the right sides, which is probably where we need to be. A bit of common sense rather than lunatic progressives leading us down the dark path. So I think that's probably going to bowl pretty well. It is really an election for freedom there in the UK and the US this year. All right, let's jump over to crypto. We've got Bitcoin at the moment, $69,539, down 1.8%. Bitcoin dominance has increased, now at 52.5%. That's up about a percent there. And of course, we've got Ethereum there is down 3.11%. It's $3,690. So a bit of a pullback in the crypto market as we head into the weekend. And of course, we've got Solana and everything else down. Some of the big movers down. We can see all the meme coins down pretty over 5%. So Dodge, SHIB, Pepe, they're all down pretty strong there. Everything's pretty much down. We can see what's the standout. Maybe Brett token there. That is up there, up 21% to 17 cents. Apart from that, that's really the standout. So we've got a bit of a bit of a move down there with the employment results. Maybe that will just be shared off by the market as we enter the weekend, and maybe next week we shall see. Right, normally Sunday is a bit of a quiet sell-off day, isn't it? But last Sunday wasn't too bad, depending on what you're owning. Let's jump into Bitcoin, zoom in on that a bit more. So here is the chart here. We've certainly not had any China invasions during the best weather period for a China invasion. We're about 2/3 the way through that now. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Good. We have seen some alarmism earlier in the period, but looks like so far so good. Anyway, we have got the high of 71,971 today, and so yeah, that's kind of where we're picking at the moment. Still looking very good though, above the 50-day moving average, which is now 66,636. So the market's still looking very good, even with this red day today. On the back of that and that employment news. Let's jump over to the news for crypto. Well, Robinhood acquires Bitstamp for $200 million. So that is good news. The crypto world is buzzing, apparently. Robinhood, a retail giant, has announced the acquisition of Bitstamp, a cryptocurrency exchange platform, for $200 million. Obviously following up on the meme sensation as well, the meme theme in crypto. This transaction comes despite the pressure exerted by the US SEC. This acquisition marks a major step for Robinhood, seeks to expand its influence into the crypto sector. So positive for the markets. It's a strategic acquisition, of course. Bitmap founded in 2011. So there we go, one of the oldest and most respected cryptocurrency exchanges. And taken away there with more than 50 active licenses and registrations worldwide. Bitstamp represents a strategic opportunity for Robinhood. So it's pretty cool. General manager for Robinhood said that the acquisition of Bitstamp is a major step in the growth of our crypto business. According to him, Bitstamp enjoys great trust and proven resilience through market cycles. This acquisition will allow Robinhood to combine customer experience and security across different geographical areas. With Bitstamp, Robinhood is positioned to expand its footprint outside of the United States. Obviously, a big player there, and attract institutional clients. The strategic acquisition opens up new perspectives for Robinhood, reinforcing its position in the global cryptocurrency market. So that is pretty cool. Now, they've got some challenges, of course. I'm not going to go through the rest of the article, but very, very bullish move there for crypto. So, yeah, nice. Leading us well. That leads us into, of course, not only big players ramping up their access to the crypto market, I would say, Robinhood and offerings, but obviously Runes protocol is with the founder is Casey, and of course he has he launched the Runes protocol. It's really like 2.0, isn't it, compared to the first round of BRC20s and ORC20s, and of course now it's the first season for meme coins really on Bitcoin. So super bullish, and you don't want to miss it, right? Don't want to miss it. So here on MagicN.io, the number one DEX for trading runes and on Bitcoin. We've got the leaderboard at the moment. A bit of obviously the market pulling back a little bit there on the back of that employment news. We've obviously had runes just pull back and consolidate after many days of rallying. So the last 24 hours we've seen a bit of a consolidation. We got Dog at the moment is just pretty flat. It's at 11.5 sats pretty much. Market cap is just under 800 million, so holding up very well is Dog to the moon if you consider that. So let's have a quick look at Dog to moon on Gate.io. Obviously, it has tier one exchange. It's got Gate.io, but it's got Bybit, of course, was the big tier one. But we're waiting for all the rest of the tier ones to launch, including KuCoin, Kraken, Crypto.com, these sort of exchanges. Obviously, Binance is the biggie. So we could see some big God mode candle coming up at some stage as it consolidates. We can kind of see where it broke out here. Broke out at 7,900 and absolutely ran away. And of course, hasn't yet reached 1 cent. 1 cent would be $1 billion market cap. And it's just come back here, consolidating down at 7,700 at the moment. So nice little pickup there on the retrace. And of course, looking for another bounce to the upside to finally break that 1 cent, that $1 billion market cap for Dog. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So that's kind of leading us pretty well. The other thing, of course, is we've got Bitcoin on the leaders there. So the top runes or meme coins. We've got Ryzik there at number 3. That's only down 3% at the moment. Pups World Peace down 13%. Bank and Nakamoto Dollar, that's down 9%. This is the project, of course, looking to do a stable coin there on the runes. We've got Satoshi Nakamoto, the big name. So you've pretty much got your typical memes, dogs, cats, things like that. And, of course, a few special projects, staking projects. And, of course, then you got personality projects as well, like Satoshi Nakamoto. That's up 21.5%. So despite the market being down, that is up. So that's looking pretty good. Epic. I wish I had just done 3 a bit shorter. That's down 12% there. Lobo, the Woolpuck, I'm really behind this team. This team is really good at being motivated and marketing. So big shout out to Lobo the Wolf. That's down 9.6% at the moment, 3.77 sats. Got up to 5 sats, so it's just down a bit from that. But rallied pretty much from, 1 sat or so. So that's pretty good. It is also rune number 9. So that's when it was created, etched in order there. So pretty cool. We got decentralized at number 9, 3.57 sats. And number 10, rounding it off there, is Runes X Bitcoin, down 6%. So we had a bit of consolidation there, a bit of profit taking, but on the back of employment stuff and of course that rally that it had. Now there's many other good ones in the list here. I think that Donald Trump might be quite good for the theme of the election this year. That is down 9% at the moment, but it's actually up from yesterday when I saw it. We're sitting at 15 sats, now 15.7. Market cap's really tight, really small relatively, just under 11 million too, so it could have a lot of upside, considering it is election year, and of course all the stuff that's happening around that, so that could be pretty cool. Lots of other project teams, we're not going to go through all those, but that is the Runes meme coins, but there's also the NFT side of the game, and of course we've got Quantum Cats, Bitcoin Puppets, Node Monks there, Runestone number 4, Blob number 5, Frux at number 6 there, Ordinal Maxi number 7, Evil Lord at number 8, Ordinal Punks number 9, and the Royals rounding out our top 10 for the Ordinals NFTs. So there we go. That is pretty much it on the NFT side. So yeah, first season for bull market for Bitcoin. It's got to be awesome. Don't want to miss that theme, right? Double theme there. You got the runes, and you also got meme coins, and you got I guess it's triple. You got that's double. So we'll leave it there. All right, pretty cool. That is on magicn.io. So there we go. That leads us into Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ethereum first of all. We've got Ethereum at the moment. Yesterday, look at that violent candle we had yesterday. We're still very bullish though. We've got the 50-day moving average at 3,481. Yesterday's candle, of course, we had a high of 3,839, a low of 3,575. So what is that? That's 200, maybe 250, $260 of range there. But we've actually opened up almost in the middle at 3,679 on a brand new candle. So hopefully the weekend offers us up something a bit more. But in the meantime, you can pick up a bit more Ethereum a bit cheaper, right? That's kind of cool. So there we are at the moment, looking not too bad. And of course, we're waiting for the Ethereum ETF money to really come in. So that's going to be bullish in the future. Like I say, June, July, August could be really bullish. Maybe September gives us a traditional pullback. And then October, super bull month, and leading us in to November. If we have a good US election with Trump winning, then we continue to rally across the board in the market. So that could be pretty cool. That would be a nice scenario, and definitely a plausible one. That leads us into BNB. BNB, of course, is at $680 at the moment. And yesterday's candle, we've had this big breakout on BNB, as you can see. Currently, yesterday we got up to $711. Currently at $680 at the moment. The 50-day moving average is at $604. Very, very bullish, and everything looking pretty good for our big bull market that we're in. So fun times. That's going to lead us into BNB Mafia. Before we get into that, though, let's welcome anyone else that's in here. We got Brennan, Morning Suit Man and family. Hey, Brennan. Hope you're doing well. Brendan, of course, is our TA guru, so big shout out to Brendan. Good to see you. All right, let's get into it. We're going to get into BNB Mafia. Boom. All right, so look at that. We got the guns going. Bam, 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 bam. We like that. So that is the BNB Mafia. How's it doing? We've got 13 crime families at the moment. Very good result, to be honest. 331 live players at the moment in the game, and we've got 77.79 BNB in the vault. That's people going to fight over. So looking pretty good is the old BNB. I haven't got the chart up today, but that is BNB Mafia. I'll post the link to this if you want to get a player participates. We are co-hosting a family in the Discord, of course, the Syndicate, so you can get in there and hit up Archie, who's the godfather, if you want to join. It will cost 100,000 Mafia to join, but the price is pretty friendly at the moment. So there we go. It costs 2,000 to make a player. All you have to do is connect your wallet, make a player, and you'll be assigned an avatar, and you'll be ready to play. You can either play by yourself or join a family. family at the moment. There's 13 of those. You can see the list here. And, of course, you can see the top 5 at the moment, the Syndicate, which we're co-hosting in our Discord. You got the original Gangsters. You got the Mugganaus. You got the Cosa Nostras. And you got the Yakuza. They're the top 5. They are getting a share of the vault, 30% down to 10%. Now, this is BNB Mafia on BNB chain, but Pulse Mafia will be launching as well. That's coming up on the 14th of June. So we're going to have a Mafia game on BNB chain and Pulse chain. So it's hyper bullish. We're looking forward to the snapshot on Pulse chain. And of course, if you're holding TRH or any of the other assets from the TRH game, you'll be getting some sort of credit for that in airdrop for the Pulse Mafia. And I think it's going to be huge on Pulse chain. Pulse chain really does need top tier GameFi. And thinking about what's out there, I think that Pulse Mafia is going to stand out like a tall tower that people, or beacon of light, because people are going to love to play that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Get in early while you can. We've got the rest of the teams down the list there. The other thing is the vaults, of course, is going pretty well. We're at $53,000 on the BNB vault. So the higher the price of the BNB, obviously we had a pullback overnight, then the bigger the US dollar value. 53,000 in there at the moment, so pretty awesome. 10% per week will be going to those top 5 families distributed, and it's what's over $5,000 at the moment. $5,300 is for the first week. Pretty awesome, eh? So that's going pretty well. And of course, if you want to buy it, you have to go and buy it, but there's a 4.7% buy tax. In other words, you need about a 5% buy slippage. There's 16.6% sell tax. You need about 20% slippage. All that tax goes into the vault, feeding the vault there, and of course the contract there for 1111. You can find that and just paste that contract into Dex Screener or somewhere like that. You'll be able to find the Mafia contract. Don't have it up to date. Pretty easy. They also have a cool chat game, so you can hit the chat there and you can have a chat to everybody. You can either chat in the main chat or in the family chat. Just select the family and you can chat in there. That's pretty cool. So that's going to be super good. Now we are waiting for a big the pre-launch phase 5. That's going to be air crates. I don't think we've got anything out of that yet. But air crates is what we're waiting for, and I don't think we've got anything about that. No news, but that is expected to come out probably later today sometime. Is air crates. So if you've got OG NFTs through the TYRH TYCZ sacrifice, then you would have received. Some of you would have received a OG NFT, which is going to give you an air crate for that. So there we go. All right, that leads us into Pulsechain. Let's get into the results for that. Pulsechain at the moment is day 392. We've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0518, down 5.22%, 52% of the main sacrifice price. Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0226, down 5.6% at the moment. The buy and burn sitting at 888. That is a lucky number. Is that indicating that the bottom is in? We're at 888 there, so 888 billion. 4.38% of all the Pulsex is being bought up and burned as per the public supply. The incentive token at the moment, $2.75, down 5.4%. That is the ratio is still looking really good, 53,130. The total supply at the moment is 33,759,000 incentive tokens. And that, of course, is from the Pulsex V1 farm. We're going to look at that soon today. And, of course, Hex on Pulsechain is at 67/100th of a penny, down 6.9%. EHEX is at 15/100th of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is at 82/100th of a penny there, or just over 8/10 of a penny. This way you want to look at it. But that is it for day 392. Let's have a look at the charts overall. We've got the daily at the moment. The RSI is pretty chill. After having a big, nice little rally in the RSI, we've got 44 still. So still lots of upside potentially. We definitely had that nice big rally for 4 days. Got up to 57/100th of a penny. We're back down to 51.79. And, of course, we're holding over 5,000, which is very important psychologically there. And so still looking very good after that big little rally there we had, or mini rally, let's call it. And, up to the upside there. So hopefully we'll find a bottom here and move to the upside. That is on the daily. Let's go to Pulsex. Pulsex is looking particularly good, even though we've had this rally as well, coming back here, and we might get this cross. But if we had a nice green candle, another green candle here, we might get this bullish cross. The yellow line there, which is the 13-day, moving over the blue line, which is the 34-day. So, simply put 2 weeks over a month, and up we go. So, and we're still holding the uptrend, right? So let's go to the weekly here. on that, and we're going to go full screen. That is the weekly, and you can see we're still holding this big uptrend here on Pulsex, so looking very good as Pulsex. So I'm pretty happy about that. That leads us into the farms. I said the title of the video is Pulsechain, the Giving Tree. Well, obviously, we're at the bottom of these prices at the moment, so a wonderful place to pick up and accumulate Pulse. You always want to buy when the market is low, right? You don't want to buy when the market is high because that's other people buying it then. You don't want to be those people. The other thing, of course, is the farms are earning really nice yields. So let's have a quick look at some of those. We've got Pulsex at the moment, 15% almost on Pulsex Pulse. We've got all the bridged and stable coins and Ethereum looking pretty good as well. We've got DAI at 77%, USDC at 77%, Wrapped ETH at 45%, and look at this USD Tether at 80%. So that is looking pretty good. Now, obviously, if we get a rally in Pulse, since we're now down near the bottom, then you'd get a lot of impermanent loss in these 4 pools, right? So that's the downside. If the market stays down low with Pulse, then your yield's going to be really, really attractive, and you're going to maintain your Pulse portfolio. But as soon as it starts rallying, Pulse starts rallying, you're going to get more stable coins in ETH and less Pulse in your LP pool there. So just remember that where we are at the moment. But other than that, very good yields. Hex Pulse at the moment, 29%. Incentive Pulse there, 40%, and Incentive Pulsex, 37%. So some great yields there on Pulsex. Pretty cool. Those are V1 farms, of course. So you have to be in the V1. You can see the little V1 symbol here. Obviously, there's V2, and it doesn't have farms, right? So just remember that. We have this pool page, but we've never had any pools in it yet. So who knows what Richard's going to be doing with those? Maybe he'll surprise us sometime later on. Who knows? We also we don't have limit orders on trade, but you can do limit orders through Tetra and others. So that's kind of cool. Was there 2 providers I think there's 2 providers of limit orders now. I remember rightly. The Tetra for sure. And I'm just trying to think. Some people have, like 9inch has Tetra has limit orders, but it's just for their own pools. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, I have a feeling there was someone else as well. Just can't think of it on top of my head. Does it SparkSwap? I don't know. But there we are. Pulsex. That is it for the moment. Let's get into the rest of the results. Gas price. Oh, actually, we're going to go to incentive token, don't we? Incentive token $2.74. Let's have a look at the pulse ratio at the moment. Pulse ratio looking really good. Look at this chart, man. Looks like a boss. 53,000 and holding up very well. Once pulse goes, man, this thing's going to go, isn't it? It's going to really fire off. Subject to whale behavior, but that is pretty bullish. What do we have? $1 million did come over the bridge yesterday. I need to keep bringing up pulse alerts because it shows you the capital flow onto Pulsechain. But we did have $1 million come over yesterday, as I got told, and of course that brought up incentive token there. So incentive token does kind of keep those yields really attractive, and of course incentives, typically what attract capital, right? So this is holding up pretty well there, and it's relatively limited supply also. All right, that is it on the incentive token, and of course Hex at the moment. Hex, of course, is probably the weakest of them all, but maybe the most opportunity, right? Most opportunity there at 66. We bounced off 6,200 to a penny, got all the way up to 7,600 a penny, back down at 66.83 there. So really good zone for accumulation. A particularly strong zone under this orange line, which is 1 cent. It's still good above that, but particularly good down here. And of course, that's ticking away at the moment. Just waiting for that turning event. We've got EHEX at the moment down at 1,500 a penny as well. Pretty similar story to PHEX there. We've got the combined price of EHEX and PHEX here on investex.io. I really love this chart because it combines the two of them. And let's have a look at the rate there. Wait for it to update on the old Hex chart there. So yeah, accumulation zone pretty clear there. And of course, we're waiting for it. Big upside to 3 cents. Once it goes over 3 cents, it's going to run away. That's an expectation there on the old Hex and PX combined. All right, that leads us into the gas prices for day 392. We're still low like yesterday, 242,000 beats. So that's kind of the last 2 days been quite low in terms of the beats there. 4/10 of a penny for a Pulsex swap, 300th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 800th of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. As that video was in the beginning video that I played with Richard Hart talking about, as the chain gets filled up and gets more popular, then costs will get more expensive. So that's something we're going to look forward to in the future. So that's kind of cool. We've got 8.6 Gwei there at the moment on Ethereum. We're 1,760 times cheaper than Ethereum on Pulsechain. Like I say, about up to $7.87 for a Uniswap. Only 4/10 of a penny for a Pulsex swap at the moment. And of course, look at that. Bitcoin at the moment, $5.91. We're 22,470 times cheaper than Bitcoin. Now, obviously, if you're over on Runes and doing stuff on Runes, it is very slow, especially if you're using DEXs, because the block time, you may not get a block for 20, 30 minutes that goes through. So, and then the block may have very high average sats, might be like 110 sats or something. So it is hard to do business over on Runes. Obviously, when it comes down to more modest levels, then that's not too bad. But you still got the time issue. Whereas, so it's definitely like 1.0 technology for decentralized compared to EVM chains, which is pretty close to instant for most times. So it really is a different environment over there. Now, if you're on centralized exchanges, of course, you're playing around. You're playing around the custodial ground, right? So you've got the risk of not getting your crypto off the exchange. So that's always the problem. Obviously, there's a lot of centralized exchanges that have been around for a while, but you can still have the issue. And of course, they can always get hacked too. So it can be insider jobs often. So there's pros and cons there. All right, let's go to the validators on a Pulsechain. We're 48,845 validators at the moment, and of course 1.56 trillion off the market. So really stable there. It's been like that for 2 weeks or so. And of course the opportunity with Pulse so cheap at the moment is that you can pick up tons, 32 million Pulse quite cheaply and start validating and have a passive income that way, just waiting for the price of Pulse to go up. And then of course that'd be a pretty cool passive strategy to making mad gains. The bridge at the moment, 107.3 million. So we're on the bottom of the range. We got up to 111, 111.5 or something like that earlier in the week. So we're 3 days ago. We're at 107.3 million at the moment on the bottom of the range of what we've been seeing for the last couple of weeks. So that's kind of where we are. And of course, we're about to start day 393, which has just ticked over. So we're now on day 393. So we'll cover that. I won't be streaming tomorrow and take day off as usual. But we'll stream again on day 394 to cover those results. That leads us into the rest of the market. So we've got the Hex derivatives. Everything's pretty much down across Pulsechain for the most part. All the derivatives are down. So if we look at the best performer, relatively speaking, is Icosa. It's only down 3.8%. Let's go to the stablecoins. Stablecoins were having a bit of a rally too, weren't they? PDI in particular is down 7%, 5400th of a penny. So that has been dampened out for the time being. LUSD was also having a bit of a rally. That is down 3.4%. So just tapering off there. 60 is 5,136. That's pretty much it on that one. How the stablecoins doing? They're mostly stable. Coast and USDL are quite depegged. They're not at $1 underneath there, but they're ticking away. The influencer coins at the moment, the influencer coins and stuff like that, they're all down as well. The worst one is Maddie Allen's coin, down 24%. That's a pretty move down, $1.38. And BitBoy Ben Armstrong's Bromance token is down 12.7%. The best performer, relatively speaking, is Paul Pleb, only down 5% today on that mark. Let's jump over to the overall for Pulsechain. And don't forget to get in that poll. Get into that poll at the moment. Let's see what the sentiment is. Now that we're going through all the charts, you might have a better idea what's going on here. Peach at the moment is up 8%, so nothing doing super huge today. Peach is up there. Freedom of Peach, that's up 8% at the moment. LUSD, that stablecoin we talked about, only up 2.5%. Teddy Bear, which I think is Moon King's one, isn't it? He likes this one, 2.2%. PGIF, which is a pretty good project there from it's not Kaleidoscope, is it? It's Crypto Kool-Aid. That's it. PGIF there up 1.7%. Mega Milk, that's some sort of random coin. That's up 1.7%. Launch token there, the big launch pad on Pulsechain. I haven't heard. I probably should do a bit more about this one, but that's up 1.5%. I guess that's still not launched yet, but that's coming up. So a little bit of gains, not much happening there, folks, on the chain. I got a few little projects with slightly little green stuff there. Gophers, HOA, Chitian there, UFO. That's pretty flat. So those are the only movers. Not a lot happening. Now, the 24-hour volume, it is a weekday volume, 14 million. So it's still on the low side. Really weekday volume, we were getting 25 to 40 million. So we have been stuck down the teens quite often. I think only, 3 days ago, we were up at 24 million on that big green day candle. So we're on the low side at the moment. 279,000 transactions. That's where we're ticking at the moment. Now, with these low volumes and where the price are, that's kind of when you want to accumulate, right? Buy low. That's kind of thing. You buy when there's fear in the market and all that sort of stuff. If you believe in the chain, ultimately, You must always do your own due diligence, not investment advice, all that good stuff. That is where we are at the moment. Let's have a look at some of the breakdowns at 14 million. While Pulsechain at the moment is doing 11.5 million of that. So that's the majority. And 9mm is doing about 1.2 million. 9-inch is doing 874,000 of that. SparkSwap is doing 288,000. That's kind of where they are at the moment. All right, let's have a quick look at some of the others here. We've got Pulse Rate. Pulse Rate's pretty much closed down, isn't it? Yeah, $1,300. Desktop, $1,300, and Easy Swap there also down. So really, we have 4 dexes that are operating at the moment. All right, that is pretty much it. That leads us into Hex. Before we get into Hex, though, we've probably got one or more comment, have we? Eli says a day off per week. How are you? Very good. Hey, I've been taking that day off for I don't know, a couple of months now. I'm like 2 months, something like that. Yeah, enjoying the weather while we get it, because next week apparently it's going to be a low here. We're in winter, and it's going to be a low. So when lows come, it's going to be really wintry. And we're going to go from a sort of a nice, mild summer day to a cold winter day, just in a minute, in a crypto heartbeat, as we say in the crypto heartbeat. All right, let's have a look at the results here. We still don't have any update for Hex on Ethereum since day 1643, and we're looking for day 1649. That's the day that we're on. So we'll have to jump to Pulsechain. Pulsechain, we got that result. We don't even have Pulsechain's result out today. So what was that, day 393? We don't even have that result out at the moment. So that's a bit weird. We're already 36 minutes past. Maybe we're a little bit early. Let's have a look at the date. Yeah, 393. So day 392 is the day that we're after here, which would be 1649. That's not out yet. So yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the Hex data stats. But anyway, Crispy Man has been covering that in depth. He's been, deep dives that on every day. Or not every day. Well, is it every day? Most days. It's a lot. He does a lot of stuff there. So big shout out to Crispy Man there if you want to see deep dive into Hex as well. I think Crispy Man and myself are probably the only 2 consistent people covering it that I'm aware of. So, but he does the deep dive. I do the payouts. The payouts kind of where we do. I do the not deep dive. Hey, Christians in the house, ACC. Good to see you. All right, so that is pretty much it on that 37 minutes. We've covered all of Pulsechain. How about that? That's not bad. We covered the stock market. We covered Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB. We covered runes. Pretty hot to trot. So yeah, pretty neat out there having a good time. Let's go to the poll and see what the results are. It's in their poll. We've only got a small viewership today. So we'll see what the poll says. 10 votes. That's pretty good. I mean, out of all the viewers, that's about like 80%. So not bad. What are you doing on Pulsechain at the moment? Buying 40%. I think that's pretty smart. Hodl 40%, which is cool. Not buying 20%, and not sure might buy 0% there. So there we go. We've got 40%. That's pretty bullish in my view. I think that's pretty smart too, to accumulate while the market's down. That's when you want to buy. Buy when the prices are low, the RSI is relatively low, and you can accumulate some pretty good volumes. DCA, dollar cost averaging course, on the road. On the road to the outback. Have a good day, folks. Hey, Brennan, enjoy yourself. Hope you survive that trip. All right, take care out there. You can talk to some of my Aboriginal friends if you need some help. Call them on outbrennan.com. Outbrennan.com. All right. Don't blow your tire. Take plenty of water with you. Plenty of water, and maybe a satellite phone. Take a satellite phone with you. They're probably pretty good. The outback in the Australia is so gigantic. You have to be careful out there. They have all sorts of critters too. All right, I think that's it for the day. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's play out the Magic Carpet Ride video just to get everybody inspired. And of course, DCA for the win there. And of course, buy low, sell high, and enjoy the Magic Carpet Ride. Pulsechain is the giving tree. You've been able to get so much volume at these price levels. And of course, those Pulsex farms have been very juicy for income rewards. Pretty cool. All right, take care. Bye for now. See you in 2 days. I'll see you in 2 days. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.